Jennifer here. Welcome to my Sunday meal prep video. Today on the menu we have chicken fajitas with cauliflower Spanish rice, and then we are going to use my new Ninja Foodi that I got for my birthday. And I'm going to do some Panko Breaded Pork Chops in the Ninja Foodi, some potatoes that we're going to dice up and just season up with some Cajun seasoning and stuff, and then we're also going to do some Brussel sprouts as well. So that's going to be my two main meals this week that we will alternate for our dinner Sunday night through Friday night, and then we will also prep my fruit. I'm going to prep my breakfast for the week, and of course make my chocolate protein cookies that I make every week. I know I show those in every video, but honestly they're so low in points. It is such a good staple if you want a dessert every night, and I personally love chocolate, love dessert, and I don't mind spending a couple of points on my cookies at night. So anyway, thank you for joining me. If you are new here, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below, and let's get into the video. Okay guys, I wanted to show you what Charlie has already prepped for us today. So he went ahead and sliced up the chicken. That's for the chicken fajitas, which we won't need those till later. And then we have all of these peppers, and my pineapple is ready, and my cantaloupe. He has diced the peppers that I will use for my breakfast this week. I still need to chop up the Brussels sprouts. What I'm going to do is cut the ends off and just kind of cut them up into small pieces. Season those up really well with probably some salt, pepper, garlic salt, avocado oil spray, stuff like that. And then I'm going to pop them in my new Ninja Foodi, which I will show you here. I'm so excited to use this today. I haven't used it yet, so I will definitely need Charlie's help. He actually has used it and made a couple of things on New Year's Eve. He did the collard greens in there, and I think he made himself some chicken. But anyway, that's what's on the agenda today. I have some blueberries somewhere. Here's my blueberries. I left them laying over here. I am going to wash my blueberries in the vinegar, and I don't really think these have to be washed because these are steam and bag, but I'm not going to steam them. I'm just going to open them up and cut them. So I don't think I need to wash those. I'll just look at them whenever I open them up and see. But, you know, those are the microwavable ones. But I just went ahead and got those for convenience, just because at Publix, it's either get something like this or they're loose and you have to order them by the pound. And I didn't really know how many to get. So anyway, I just got 3 bags of these and figured I would just use them. But it does say that they are ready to serve, fresh veggies. So it does say that they are washed and ready. So I'm probably not going to wash them. I'll just pick off any bad pieces as I am chopping those up. So let's get into this. I'm going to get my blueberries soaking and then chop up the Brussels sprouts so that we can get the air fryer going. Okay guys, as usual, I'm going to wash my blueberries in the vinegar water. So my blueberries here, I'm just going to put it in my OXO salad spinner, which I'm going to tilt you down so you can see. We're just going to go in with the blueberries, fill it with water, and then just a little bit of vinegar. And then I'm just going to let these soak for about 10 minutes or so, and then I will rinse them really well. Okay guys, I'm ready to put the fruit bowls together. Again, Charlie already prepped the pineapple and the cantaloupe. I have just got my blueberries out and rinsed them 2 or 3 times and drained them really well and kind of patted them dry. And I'm going to do 7 containers. My pineapple's looking a little suspicious this week. This is the one that we bought at Sam's Club last week. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in the containers, but we may have to make a run to the store and just get like a small container of some chopped up pineapple or something to kind of get me through the week and maybe replace some of this, because she's a little soft feeling today. It tasted good, it's just really right.
I'm kinda new with apologies. Holding back, I got history. Yeah, yeah. But the way you've been crossing the line, oh, it's something in me that says it's fine. Hoping you wouldn't change me. Got the same old flaws, be my referee. I will be alright. Never cut it right, but somehow you make me change. Like I'm better off with you.
that, here is my prep fruit containers as usual with my yogurt and my diced peppers, which Charlie had already diced those. I just put them in the bowl with the paper towels, you know, to absorb the moisture. So those are good to go. I'm going to put these in the fridge, and then next we are going to season up the Brussels sprouts. They are going to go into my Ninja Foodi, and we are going to cook them, I think, for about 20 minutes at 390 degrees. We may have to do them in 2 batches. We will see. Okay, for the Brussels sprouts, I'm just going to cut the ends off and just kind of chop them, I guess, into fourths. That's what I'll go with. And I just have a big bowl over here. I'm just going to put them in here, and then once we get them all chopped up, I will salt and pepper, season them up well, put some avocado oil spray on there and some garlic salt, and pop them in the air fryer. Okay guys, we have all of the Brussels sprouts chopped up. This is quite a bit, and what I'm going to use on it is just some avocado oil spray. I've had this for a while. I need to probably get a new one. I don't know if those expire or not. And then just salt and pepper as normal, and then I'm going to use some garlic powder, some garlic salt, and I think I'm going to throw in a little bit of chili powder and just a little bit of ground cumin just to give it a little bit of a kick. Not too much of those. And of course, always season everything to your liking. And then we're going to put them in the Ninja Foodi and crisp them for 20 minutes, and we'll see how they turn out. And one thing, I'm not one that personally likes the taste of Brussels sprouts unless they are heavily seasoned and cooked really crispy, which I've never used them in an air fryer or anything. And I've obviously never used this Ninja Foodi because it's brand new to me, but hopefully it's delicious. And a little garlic salt, and then we'll just throw in a little cumin and chili powder. And I'm going to stir them up, and then I'll probably run through all those seasonings again just to make sure that everything is nicely coated. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now we are going to get them in the Ninja Foodi. I'm going to get Charlie to come in here and show me how to use it. I haven't used it before, so we are going to figure it out. Come on, Charlie. Okay, do I need to turn it on or just put them in first? Alright, let's see. I think we may have to do this in 2 batches. We'll see how much fits in here. What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably for a batch.
Yeah, so we'll do 2 separate batches. I want to make sure that they're nice and crispy. So we're going to shut the lid and air crisp at 390.
So it works.
There we go. 390 for 20 minutes, and then we'll check it and see if it needs to stay any longer. It's really not that loud, not like a normal air fryer so far. We'll see what happens. I'm curious to see how I like this thing. My other little air fryer, that little green one, was so loud you couldn't film while it was running. Oh, it's going to get loud on me. We'll see. Okay, we'll be back once this batch is done and see what they look like. Okay guys, here is the first batch of the Brussels sprouts. I actually think they came out perfect. So we're just going to dump the other ones in for 20 minutes, and then those will be done, and we're going to season up the potatoes and get those ready to go in. They'll probably have to cook in 2 batches as well. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to season up the diced potatoes. The last batch of the Brussels sprouts are cooking in the air fryer, and then we're going to do these potatoes as well. It is a lot of potatoes. I'm going to weigh out how much I have to start with. I actually wrote the grams of this bowl that they are in on the bottom so that I can get an accurate weight and then know how much I'm portioning out. Some of this I am going to put to the side for Terry and Jaylee as well, and probably some of the Brussels sprouts too. I don't think Jaylee likes Brussels sprouts, but Terry does, so I'm not going to do them individual meal prep containers. I'm just gonna put some in a container for them, and then if they want to eat it, they can. So this is a lot of potatoes, just FYI, and I'll show you what I'm gonna season it up with. So here's the potatoes. These are just those yellow potatoes, which this was the Publix brand. Hang on, my battery's gonna die. Okay guys, so here are the potatoes. Sorry, I had to do a quick battery change. I'm gonna put them on the scale and just see how much I have, which I wrote on the bottom of the bowl. The bowl weighs 127 grams, so that way I know how many grams of potatoes I'm starting with. Wow, so that's 2,497. So that's 2,370 grams of potatoes. That's a lot of potatoes, by the way. But we are going to reserve some for Jaylee and Terry. I probably will have 4 or 5 ounces in our containers, and then just whatever's left over, I'll put into a container for them. To season these, I'm just gonna spray them really well with some extra virgin olive oil. And I'm gonna go in with some salt and some pepper. And then I'm going to do this Cajun seasoning. We used this the last time we made some of these diced potatoes, and it was really good. And then I'm also going to go in with some garlic powder. Then I think I'm just going to stir it up and kind of do that again, since this is such a full bowl. That way they are all coated nicely. Okay, so there's the potatoes. Those look good. I'm just going to wait until this second batch of Brussels sprouts finishes, and then we will get these in the air fryer. Okay, so we are going to cook the potatoes. Charlie's going to put them in so that I can hold this camera. I think we're going to have to do 2 batches. That's the only bad thing about cooking everything in the air fryer. It almost takes longer than just cooking it in the oven. Okay, so we're going to cook these for 20 minutes and then see what they look like. I am ready to start on the pork chops to go along with our air fryer meal. This is the recipe that I'm using. It is from Skinnytaste. Of course, my dog's going to start barking. These are breaded in the Panko breadcrumbs. So here are the ingredients that you need. You need olive oil spray. It calls for 6 3/4 inch center cut boneless pork chops, but all Publix had was these thin ones. And so this is 2 pounds, and I've plugged this recipe in and everything that I'm using, and it comes out to 4 points per serving. We will just divide it equally between us into 6 servings. 1 large egg beaten, which I've already done that and put it in that small bowl, but I do realize I have to put it on like a plate or something to do the breading. It calls for 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs and 1/3 cup of crushed corn flakes. However, I do not have the corn flakes, so I'm just going to use 1 cup of the panko breadcrumbs. I think it'll be fine. 2 tablespoons of the grated Parmesan cheese, 1 1/4 teaspoons of paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder, and 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm not sure if I said it said kosher salt, which we just have sea salt, so I'm going to use that as well. And so basically I'm going to mix all of these seasonings together, and then we will combine the panko, the Parmesan cheese, the kosher salt, the paprika, the garlic powder, the onion powder, the chili powder, the black pepper, all into a large shallow bowl. And then we're going to put the egg into another dish. We'll dip the pork into the egg and then into the crumb mixture, and then it will go into the air fryer. And it says to do, you know, to spritz your air fryer with the olive oil spray. So, and we might spritz the top of the pork chops as well so that they come out nice and crispy. It says to cook them at 400 degrees for 12 minutes, turning halfway. So we will see. We'll have to do these in a couple of batches, but I'm curious to see how these turn out. Okay guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get the pork chops set up so that they will be ready to go in the air fryer. Basically, you just dredge it in the egg mixture and then coat it with the panko breadcrumbs, and then we will air fry them probably for about 20 minutes or so. We'll see. I really don't know. I'm just kind of looking in the book that came with the Ninja to see what it recommends for each item that we're doing, which I think the Brussels sprouts turned out good. They're nice and black and crispy like I like them. Let's hope for the potatoes as well. But I will say, if I'd have cooked this all in the oven together, I could have put it all on sheet pans and been done a lot quicker than having to do it in batches in the air fryer. And I may have to get another egg because Her recipe only called for 6 pork chops, and I have basically 10 thin ones. Now we're just going to get the rest of these breaded. Okay, so the pork chops are ready. I'm just going to set them to the side. Once the potatoes are done, then we will cook these in the Ninja. Okay guys, I am ready to start on the chicken fajitas. I'm going to go ahead and get the peppers in here so that they can start softening up. I'm just going to spray the pan and dump my peppers in. And then I'm going to give them a good spray as well. And we're just going to season with a little salt and pepper as usual. Just season to your taste. And I'm going to add in a little bit of the fajita seasoning that I will use on the chicken. And a little ground cumin. And just a little chili powder. Kind of got to reserve my chili powder. I didn't realize I was so low on it. And I'm just going to stir them up and put the lid on so that they can kind of get warm and soften up. And my chicken ready, I'm going to just salt and pepper this side like I always do. Put it in the pan and then salt and pepper the other side. And spray my skillet. And then I'm going to let the chicken brown a little bit before I add in the other seasonings. That way I can go ahead and get my cauliflower rice going. So I'm going to kind of make a double batch of my cauliflower rice. I do have this huge pot out. I'm going to do 4 bags of the cauliflower rice veggies. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and spray it, of course. And we're going to put the 4 bags in, and then we'll add in 4 cans of Rotel. 2, 3, and 4. We will not eat all of this. We will make a bowl of this for Jaylee and Terry. Okay, so the cauliflower has started to soften up just slightly, but I'm going to go ahead and add in the Rotel. We're going to do 2 cans of fire roasted Rotel. There's 1 and 2. And then we're going to go in with 2 cans of original Rotel. 1 and 2. And then we're going to go in with a generous helping of fajita seasoning, salt and pepper, ground cumin, and chili powder. Just season it to your liking. Basically, we're just going to mix this up and let it cook and simmer until all of the liquid has dissipated, and it really will look like rice. And once it's almost done, I'll give it a little taste just to see if I think it needs any other seasonings. You want it spicy, but you don't want it too spicy. And check my peppers. They're probably steaming up here. The peppers are coming along nicely, and the chicken is as well. And I'm just going to turn those down. And then back over to the chicken. As you can see, it's cooking up pretty well. I'm going to drain some of the water from it, and then I will add in the fajita seasoning, the cumin, the chili powder, and then the Frontera seasoning packet, which I still have to get that out. This meal really doesn't take that long to cook, to be honest. It's a quick meal. Okay, so the chicken is looking just about done. I'm going to go ahead and add in the Frontera skillet seasoning packet and some fajita seasoning, of course. since it's chicken fajitas, and some ground cumin, and some chili powder. And I'm just going to turn the heat down on this. And these are almost done, and I think the peppers are probably almost done as well. See, that Frontera sauce just gives it such a nice coating, and it's delicious. Now, I took the lid off of the cauliflower rice because it's pretty much completely softened up now and mixed well, and I want all of the liquid to kind of dissipate in that for that to be complete. And I got the lid off of the peppers. I think that they are nice and softened up, and we will just mix the peppers and the chicken together. I probably will put the chicken in this pan with the peppers because I think it's larger. And then I'm just going to move this over to this eye. And y'all, this looks and smells delicious. I know this is a good meal. This is one of our favorites. This comes out to 1 point. The cauliflower fried rice, I believe, is 0 points. And then I will eat my baked Tostitos with it, probably 2 bags of them. So that'll be 6 points of those. So it'll be a 7-point meal. Pretty good, I think. I think my pork chop meal is going to end up to be about a 10-point meal, which is kind of high for me, but, you know, I'm trying not to be too restrictive and try new things, so, especially since I'm so much closer to my goal weight now. So that probably only needs about 5 more minutes on low, and this just needs a few more minutes also. Let's take a look at our potatoes and Brussels sprouts. Which the Brussels sprouts are cold because they've been sitting here for a while, and I've eaten 2 or 3 of them. But this is the first batch of the potatoes from the air fryer. My husband just got them out. They're pretty good. That Cajun season is what makes that taste really good. So if you haven't tried that, I would highly recommend it. The last time I did it on a sheet pan in the oven, and they were delicious. I would almost cook these for a couple more minutes. Maybe the next batch I will, just to get them a little bit crispier. But they are good. Okay guys, I am ready to start plating up the chicken fajitas. So I'm not going to measure this out as usual. I'm just going to divide it as equally as possible. Just ignore all the noise in my house. My house is full of a bunch of people. And the air fryer's going. People are trying to make lunch. People are trying to hide so they don't get on camera. I'm going to get the camera on them though.
I want my water. I want my water.
Okay, I got the chicken fajitas evenly portioned out into the 6 portions. Now I'm going to fill our containers with the cauliflower fried rice, and then what's left over I'm just going to put into a container for Jaylee and Terry because they do like this. I'm not going to edit all this out of the video either. A bunch of screaming going on in this house. Okay guys, here are the chicken fajitas. They are done. It looks delicious. This is a 1-point meal, and I will pair it with my baked Tostitos. Let me see if I have a bag. Everybody's always asking what the baked Tostitos are. This is the baked Tostitos that I like to eat. You can get these in the grocery store in the larger bags. Once the pandemic hit, it was hard for me to find those in the stores. I couldn't find them anywhere, and I was kind of freaking out because these are so low in points. But on Amazon, you can order a case of 72 bags. It's like $30 to $33, something like that. And so actually, I prefer that now. It is a huge case, and we kind of have to store the box in the dining room or something. And we just put, you know, as many as will fit in our cabinet at a time. But it's perfect for me. It's perfect for my little granddaughter. She loves to eat this vegan queso and these baked Tostitos, and she loves having her own little bag. So anyway, we love ordering them from Amazon now, so that's where I would suggest to get them if you cannot find them in your local grocery store. And again, here are the fajitas, and we are gonna move on to putting the pork chops in the air fryer. I think we finally have the potatoes done. Let's check the potatoes real quick. Oh, so this is the remaining cauliflower rice. This is what I will put in a bowl for Jaylee and Terry, and they can divide that out and they will eat it with Tostitos as well, or whatever they like to eat. This is how the Brussels sprouts turned out, which they are perfect. They are nice and crispy. I know they look kind of burnt, but that's the way we like them. And then here are the air fried potatoes. They are nice and crispy as well. And that Cajun seasoning makes them delicious. So that's definitely worth trying. Now we have the pork chops breaded over here. We're gonna have to do this in 2 or 3 batches. We're gonna cook them at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes and try to remember to flip them halfway through. And so we will just see how these turn out at the end. Here's Frankie. She wanna come say hi to Mimi? Come here, come say hi to Mimi. She loves her Mimi, yes. Frankie's a good girl. And here's Ozzy. All my animals have actually been kind of sleeping all day, so that's pretty good. Guys, I am getting ready to plate up this air fryer meals, which I cooked all of this in the Ninja Foodi. It did take a while because I had to do the Brussels sprouts in 2 batches, I had to do the potatoes in 2 batches, and then we had to do, I think, 3 batches of the pork chops, but these look great. They've turned out nice and crispy, so I'm very excited to try all these. I have tried the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. They are delicious and cook perfectly, so very excited about that. I don't know if I would cook a whole meal to where I have to cook 3 items. It seems like it's taken all afternoon to get that done, and we've kind of had to keep our eye on it and flip stuff in the middle of the time, but it looks delicious. I'm going to get this plated up, and all I have left to do today, I think, is cook my breakfast for the week. Okay guys, I am ready to plate up the pork chops and the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. Of course, the Brussels sprouts are 0 points. The pork chops come out to 4 points per serving, and it looks like a serving is going to be 148 grams or so. Basically, I did the measurement for the serving prior to cooking, but now I've weighed it after cooking to see how many grams that I have. So if I divide it by 6, then that gives us 148 grams each, 0.333. So I'm going to see how easily I can divide this into about 148 to 150 grams per container, and that's what we're going to go with and count it as 4 points. And then on the potatoes, I'm going to do probably 4 ounces, maybe 5 ounces in each one, and then I will have the leftover potatoes. I will just put in a container for Jaylee and Terry, and then there should be a little bit of leftover Brussels sprouts for Terry. I don't think Jaylee will eat those. But anyway, let's get to it and we'll see how I can divide out 148 grams of pork chops. So if that's 56, 122, so that's 184, so I am going to have to cut them. Makes that 141, 140. So I think that's good enough. It's not easy to measure stuff like this out unless you separate it and cook it all individually. So that's close enough, around 140 grams or so each. And now let's do the potatoes and see how much we have in weight of those. Well, actually, I'm just going to do 5 ounces in each container, and then what's left will be for Jaylee and Terry. On the Brussels sprouts, we'll just see what we get in each of our little containers. I got a clean spoon. Okay, that's our meals. The rest will be for Jaylee and Terry. I'm not going to divide that out. I'm just going to put each of them in an individual container for them. Okay guys, here is a completed air fryer meal, our Ninja Foodi meal. We did pork chops with diced yellow potatoes and Brussels sprouts. It looks and smells delicious. I think everything has cooked perfectly. These are the leftovers. This is going to Jaylee and Terry. I'm going to go put that in their refrigerator, but super excited to try this meal. Not sure this might be the one that we have tonight. We will see. But here is my Ninja Foodi. If any of y'all want to know what it looks like. You know, the basket, in my opinion, is not that big. It is dirty. I did just finish getting the pork chops out. So we did have to do things in batches, but it cooked everything perfectly. So, loving it so far. Okay guys, I am ready to make my peanut butter chocolate protein cookies. These are the ingredients that you need. You need 1 scoop of the PE Science Select Chocolate Cupcake. I'm sure any chocolate protein powder would work, but that is the one that I prefer. And then for my peanut butter, I like this Matrix peanut butter cookie. Some people have said that they have used PB2 in place of that and that it has worked out fine. Half a can of 100% pure pumpkin. Make sure it is just pumpkin. I'm going to use about 100 grams of egg whites, 5 grams of the Jell-O sugar-free chocolate pudding mix, about 5 to 7 grams of the Hershey's Special Dark Cocoa, a heaping tablespoon of the baking powder, and then after I get it all mixed, I will mix in 14 grams, which is 1 serving of the Lily's dark chocolate baking chips with no sugar added. So let's get this mixed up, and then they bake 350 degrees for 9 minutes, and they are delicious, very low in points. 1 point for 2 cookies, 2 points for 3 cookies. Okay guys, I'm an idiot. I literally was just sitting here talking to the camera and not even recording. I was not recording any of that. I'm so stupid. Today's just been one of those days. So I put 1 scoop of the Select chocolate protein powder in there, 1 scoop of the peanut butter protein powder in there, about 7 grams of the Hershey's Special Dark, a heaping tablespoon of baking powder in there, and 5 grams of the Jell-O sugar-free pudding mix. And then I realized that the red light wasn't on, it wasn't recording. So what the point I'm at now is just to blend all of the dry ingredients. Now we're going to add in the pumpkin and the egg whites. And pretty much it's half the can of pumpkin. There's 425 grams in here. So I will just measure out, you know, between 210 to 215 grams and save the rest for my next batch. There we go. That's 214, 216 once I knock that excess off in there. So that is perfect. And we will save the rest. Then I'm just going to do about 100 or so grams of egg whites. These are 0 points, so it really doesn't matter. I just kind of add it until it's to the consistency that I like. So I think that's a little dry. I'm going to add just another little splash of egg whites in. Okay, I think that's about perfect. It's not too runny, it's not too thick. Now we just need 14 grams of the dark chocolate baking chips. Okay, I'm just going to mix these up in here for just a minute and then get my baking sheet ready. I'm going to spray it with a Baker's Joy and divide this into 12. Okay guys, I have sprayed my pan with this Pam baking spray. It's the same thing as the Baker's Joy. I just personally like this one better. And we are just going to divide into 12 scoops. Okay guys, these are ready. 12 cookies in the oven at 350 for 9 minutes. Okay guys, here are the cookies fresh out of the oven, looking delicious. You can still see the steam coming off of them. They are nice and puffed up. They look perfect. They are still soft. They are not good to eat. As soon as you get them out of the oven, you have to let them set. And then I store mine in the refrigerator and I will have them later tonight for dessert. When I have them, I do heat them up for 30 seconds in the microwave and they are the perfect low point treat. Okay guys, here is my breakfast for the week. I've got my 5 bowls of scrambled eggs with the diced peppers and 10 strips of bacon, so I will have 2 for each day. This really helps me out in the mornings because I'm always just short of time since my workouts keep increasing. So it has really helped to have all of my breakfast ready, and then all I have to do is warm it up and then I'm ready to get out the door. Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching my meal prep video today. I hope that you got some good ideas. I'm excited to see what all I can make in my new Ninja Foodi, and hopefully bring some new recipes. This recipe for the pork chops was a Skinnytaste recipe, which I will link that down below. And then the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts is just kind of my own recipe, so I will type that out for you as well so that you have that. And then the chicken fajitas and stuff, I will have that typed out in the description box below for you also. If there's anything that you want to know, it's usually down in the description box. For those of you that don't know, you can click the little arrow right underneath the video and it gives you a drop down box, and there's usually lots of information in there. So anyway, if you have any comments or questions, please leave those down for me below. I love to chat with y'all in the comments and get y'all's feedback on stuff, and let me know if you try some of these recipes. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. If you are new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe and click that like button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any time that I upload. Right now I am uploading 3 days a week. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday is my schedule at the moment, and sometimes there is another video thrown in there randomly. But I hope that y'all have all had a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.